Review number 2. Um, it was very hard to just pick a certain amount of silent movies to watch because there's a lot that I want to eventually see. And then I've seen a few others that I'm just not going to get to. The Kid, Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, Nosferatu. I'm just not going to get to those. But there are a lot of other silent movies that I need to get to. But I chose this one because I'd never seen it before. Um, it's in this my movie book of 501 must see movies, um, and it's got a really famous scene in it. And so I'm like, I've never seen a Harold Lloyd film before, so I thought I'd check this out, and I was very happy with this movie. This movie was very good. Uh, it's a most people remember this movie for that final scene, which is great, but the whole movie I thought was really good. So this movie is basically about Harold Lloyd is he has this girlfriend and he's like, I need to go out to the city and then I'll make some money and then we'll get together or something like that. So he works at a department store and his girlfriend comes, they do stuff, and eventually at the end they're like, we need to bring in more money, and Harold Lloyd has a friend that can climb buildings really well, and Harold Lloyd is like, I'll have my friend climb this building, the 16-story building, people are going to come watch, and it will all be good. But of course, nothing really works out the way it does in a comedy. So, from right off the bat, I liked Harold Lloyd's character. You could just tell this was a nice guy you'd want to be friends with. So that made the whole movie so much more enjoyable. Because this guy, he's a very smart, but yet kind of clumsy type dude. Kind of like a Charlie Chaplin's characters. He's very smart and just a very likable person. But now, the only thing about this movie I didn't like was his girlfriend. I didn't feel like she had much of a character. She was just kind of there, and almost felt like she was kind of greedy. Like, I was watching it, and he goes and buys these expensive gifts for her. Basically, so expensive that he can't even eat. He can't afford food just for his selfish little girlfriend. So, anyways, but that's his own fault, I guess. So when I watched Birth of a Nation, it really bugged me at times because there was nice, really long takes, and I like nice long takes. But in early movies, they didn't really move the camera. You didn't see that a lot, really. And so in Birth of a Nation, it's just these long takes, but they're just static. They don't move. And it got kind of on my nerves a little bit. And this movie, the camera doesn't really move. And this movie, some of Chaplin's and Keaton's that I've seen are also, they do this really well. They don't move the camera a lot because they just didn't back then. But they their edits are quick and nice, and it makes it feel like it's moving even though it's not. So it's always progressing, so it's not just looking at the same thing for like an hour. So good job. And also, I really liked how they did like these fades and stuff. Like, pretend like, I'll show you this one part as an example. Pretend like Harrison Ford doesn't have a face right here. It's just a blank face because they're like, the mystery man is going to climb the building in the newspaper. So it's like that. And what they did was they like faded in from another shot of the actual guy because the cop realizes that he knows who the mystery man is. And just stuff like that. And he's looking into this bald guy's head, and they do a similar thing so it looks like his reflection. I thought that was kind of cool. But of course, the best part of this movie is its comedy. I thought this movie was really funny, and it's not just like stupid slapstick. Like, I think what most people think of for silent movies is just like stupid slapstick, people slipping on banana peels. Kind of more like Three Stooges. I haven't really seen much of Three Stooges, but kind of more that kind of just silly, goofy, ooh, he slipped on something type of humor. But what I really like about Keaton, Lloyd, and Chaplin is they're not just it's not just silly, goofy comedy. It's really smart comedy, like especially Chaplin. But here um, it's really smart. It's really good. It's like this the opening shot of the movie I love because it looks like he's in prison and it looks like he's about to be hung because he's standing in front of these bars and you see what looks like a noose in the background and you're like, oh, what is this? He's like, I'm sure if I saw this movie the first time, never knew what it was about, and I saw that, I'd be like, whoa, this movie's serious. Someone's about to get hung. And then it turns out he's just at a train station, and that's just something that the trains use. And I'm just like, that was like the first shot of the movie. I'm like, this is great. But yeah, very funny. And of course, the final scene where he's climbing up the building and he hangs from the clock tower. Just classic scene. I mean, I think most people have seen that shot before, even if they never watched a silent movie. So, I mean, that's something that just has stayed around for close to 100 years now. And I gotta give lots of props to Harold Lloyd for doing all his own stunts, just climbing, you know, because I don't know exactly how they did it because it looks like he's actually up on a huge building. They probably did some stuff where it wasn't as tall as it was, but the whole time he's really up there. He's really, climbing stuff. So, yeah, good job. So I really enjoyed this movie a lot more than I did Birth of a Nation. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Good job, movie. But that's all I got to say about Safety Last from 1923. So thank you for watching, and I might see you next time.